I'm Lisa Semmerly with Halotherapy Solutions. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer, and I've been with the company for going on 8 years. So I would say that I've been in the recovery space as long as I've been with Halotherapy Solutions because it does address recovery from all sort of standpoints, not just from muscle recovery. I've been in the recovery industry for about a decade. Halotherapy Solutions is the global leader in the salt therapy space because we are trying to be more relevant to an overall massive population. And because contrast therapy and restore and recovery is so important right now, it's an amazing space to be in because it seems I talk to 10 people a day that are opening up fitness facilities or wellness facilities, and they're not looking for the one trick pony. They're not looking just for float or saunas. They're looking for the whole package. They're looking for the whole restore and recovery. So the reason why Halotherapy Solutions is the answer is because, again, we're the leader in salt therapy equipment. And for folks who don't understand salt therapy, it's been around for hundreds of years. It's backed by 50 years of science. It's basically taking pure pharmaceutical grade salt and microparticling it in through a state-of-the-art generator that produces kinetically active salt in the air. It's microscopic. And folks breathe that deep into their airway, both the upper and the lower. It helps to liquefy the mucus and help with inflammation in the upper airway. And it also helps to draw out that moisture, mucus, and impurity from the lower airway. So again, it's the only way to address respiratory health. Salt therapy is phenomenal for athletes as well. It helps 1 in 3 athletes experience exercise-induced bronchoconstriction or asthma, exercise asthma. So it's going to help increase oxygen saturation and exchange. So it's great for the athlete and recovery. It's great for everybody, 100% of the population, because everybody needs to address their respiratory health. Post-COVID especially was a tremendous accelerant for our industry. So it's part of that conversation across the spectrum, regardless of the type of facility that you're opening or considering. We pair it with multiple modalities. So thereby stacking these modalities together in one footprint, creating convenience for your guests, your customers. The facility owner also is going to be able to save space and maximize their space. So that's a great reason why, for instance, a Halo IR, which is our top seller, that's a salt sauna. It was custom engineered in conjunction with Clear Light, the gold standard in the sauna space, to create this sauna that is far infrared heat paired with salt, which there's a little bit of a misnomer out there that you can't do sauna with salt. And there's only a little bit of truth to that. So our units are custom engineered such that the salt is only delivered during heat that's about 100 degrees, which actually allows for better expansion in the lungs and better absorption on the skin. Salt therapy actually is phenomenal for the skin, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, any inflammation of the skin. So you're getting an added benefit there. So you're getting a more efficacious salt therapy session when you pair it with just enough ambient heat. The salt sauna, Halo IR, is also capable of kicking into a higher temperature range for the optimal benefit of the far infrared heat, which we talked a little bit about. That's pain management, inflammation, recovery. It's going to help with weight loss. So there's lots of benefit to far infrared heat. Again, we're stacking that. Add to it a red light therapy tower, again, its own primary modality, thereby stacking 3 primary modalities in one footprint. All of them can be used together or independent of each other. These units are 5 sensory experiences, so they're very transformational. There's medical grade chromotherapy. The guest is going to feel the warmth of that far infrared heat. Obviously, they're going to start tasting that salt. There's built-in aromatherapy, and we also provide Kasara guided meditation for all of our equipment. We also have a vitality booth, which is full red light immersion paired with salt therapy. We're now moving into the whole restore and recovery space. So we now have Halo Restore and Recovery. So we're your one-stop shop for all things in the recovery space. We partnered with a fantastic company called Cryo Relief, and they have cold plunges, cryo in all forms. They have this amazing full body massage waterbed that's completely electronic. All of this equipment, by the way, is contactless, touchless. We're doing a sort of cryo lounger where it's more of a chair that's like a full body compression and massage, but it also has contrast therapy. So it's going to get below zero to help with inflammation. And then it's going to also it also has that heat as well. Full spectrum lights in the form of beds, as well as what we call sort of mobile ATMs, where you can have a full spectrum light, either a face panel or one for the body that can be mobile. Maybe you bring it into a salt therapy room, or perhaps you bring it in, you pair it with like the massage bed or chair, the compression chair, or the cryo aqua. It's called an Aquavive, and it's like this amazing cryo full body compression chair. So that's really where things are right now, is trying to maximize the space with the most amount of primary modalities stacked together that can be used interchangeably or together. And more often than not, a lot of these stacked modalities actually have that synergistic effect. So it's a great thing to bring into any type of wellness facility, and people are making a ton of money with them. We also, as a company, provide all of your marketing, your collateral, a complete portal that basically, I don't want to say handholds, but handholds. We have a whole customer success team. So we've mastered the post-sale partnership, and that's what it is. It's a partnership. Halotherapy is the only company in the industry that's been that's backed by the Better Business Bureau, and we've always had an A+ rating. So we go above and beyond for our customers, and now we're able to offer all of the equipment that's touchless more often than not in the restore and recovery space, and you're going to get unbelievable customer service and an entire customer success team post sale. And by the way, we have a lifetime warranty on our Halo generators. So we're always trying to reinvent ourselves, be relevant, and maximize our relationship with our customer base and giving them what they need. So some of the gyms and franchises in the fitness space that we are partnered with would be the Covery, would be Fitness 1440, would be World Gym, Powerhouse Gym would be the four that pop into my mind. I'm sure I'm forgetting some of them. Lots of folks that are pivoting sort of in wellness and fitness as well. Again, it's all about trying to give people what they want. And I think a lot of gyms are actually opening up sort of separate spaces that are just around wellness. So it's that marrying of fitness and equipment with the wellness space. So we're seeing a lot of that. So there's a lot of crossover. The Vitality booth, which is a phenomenal unit that comes in 4 sizes, is really popular in gyms. And that's the World Gym is who we partnered with on that. And they're putting exercise equipment in this booth because it is going to help. And then you can also infuse oxygen. There's an oxygen concentrator. So oxygen therapy would be added. And when you're exercising in an oxygen enriched environment, it helps to burn calories at a faster rate. So now you're going into this 20-minute booth and you're exercising, and you're helping to affect change with your red light immersion and recovery, obviously, and you're getting your salt therapy at the same time. So for that person who is an elite athlete, isn't that awesome to have all that in one space? But even if it's somebody who doesn't work out a whole lot, but cares about what they look like, and maybe they're concerned about aging quicker than they'd like, they're going to be able to go in there and exercise and also get the benefit of some of the anti-aging properties in that particular booth. So yep, it's a marrying of lots of different modalities and creating that experience for that guest and offering more.
Tell us what you did before you entered the recovery industry.
So what I did before I entered the recovery space, I worked for pharmaceutical sales for a decade plus in respiratory specialty. Then I pivoted over to the wellness space and opened up a medical spa and wellness center. And I did that for 5 years before coming on board full time with Halotherapy Solutions.
That must have been exciting running your own med spa. What were some of the lessons that you learned from running your med spa that have influenced your views now on the opportunity with halotherapy? What did you learn from running a med spa that have influenced your current career?
Um, Touchless. Okay, so what I learned when I was the owner of Remedy Spa and Wellness, my medical spa, was that touchless automated services is really where it's at because you don't have to rely on staff and you don't have to manage a lot of personalities. It's very reliable. So one of the things that I brought in to my medical spa was a lot of contactless, touchless services to include flotation therapy, sauna, salt therapy is one of the most important ones that we brought in. And that's really the biggest thing that I learned. And then, of course, post COVID, the touchless, contactless space became even more paramount. For the most part, a hands on wellness would be contact services. That's where you're relying on an attendant, a practitioner, a massage therapist, a facialist. Versus contactless or touchless, you're not. You're literally introducing a piece of equipment that's going to be a revenue driver that doesn't require any additional labor. The contactless service would be something that perhaps on the first visit, you may introduce them to the equipment, let them know what to expect, show them where the button is that they press. But on their follow up visit or subsequent visits, they would basically just press the button that corresponds with what they booked for that day. So it eliminates the need for labor. And then the automated service just runs on its own and generally shuts off at the end of a session. So some examples of contactless recovery services would be a far infrared sauna, a Halo IR salt sauna, which is a combination of salt therapy and far infrared heat. We have some cryo equipment. We're just partnering with a joint venture partner where you just it's more local cryo. So you would just basically grab the wand and apply it more localized to where you need, wherever there's inflammation required to reduce that inflammation. There's so many contactless, touchless services now that we do. There's a SolaJet bed, which is basically a water massage bed that you can lay down on by pressing a button on a control screen, and it massages your full body. There's compression chairs where you sit in a chair, press a button. You can sort of determine where you want to have the massage chair massage you. It's also full body compression, which basically squeezes the muscle to help with recovery. So pretty much any recovery piece of equipment, if done well and if done right, it's going to be a contactless, touchless service.
So, who should be using these type of contactless recovery services?
So the folks that should be using the contactless, touchless services in the recovery space would be anybody that was looking to enhance their ability to get back in a gym. So that consumer, that end customer that is looking for a better oxygen saturation with salt therapy, for instance, somebody who is looking for better exchange of oxygen in addition to any sort of respiratory health and recovery. Folks that are that have inflammation throughout the body. So a far infrared sauna would be a big benefit to them. Certainly a salt sauna. Compression therapy would be great for that person who is looking to get back in a gym, looking to be able to increase the number and length of workouts. I would say would be great for those folks. Any athlete, though, the average American, I mean, the folks who are just getting into a workout routine and started and they can't walk the next day because they're in pain because they're just getting started. So getting them into something that is going to address getting that muscle back um, in optimal performance so they can get back out there, whether it's, in a gym or a yoga studio, somebody looking for more flexibility and somebody looking to eliminate the inflammation throughout their body, which could be addressed with all sorts of recovery equipment that's out there. A Halo IR would be top of mind. That's a salt sauna that's going to help folks in the recovery space by addressing their respiratory health and their overall immune health. So they're going to get the benefit of breathing that kinetically active salt into their airway, which is going to then help to increase oxygen saturation and exchange. It also allows the airway to be expanded a little bit in a warmed environment so that salt penetrates a little bit deeper. So that is one of the most important aspects of that salt sauna, also known as the Halo IR. The far infrared heat is phenomenal for any sort of inflammation throughout the body. It's going to address joint inflammation and pain. It's going to help with the muscle recovery, enhanced athletic performance. Again, it's all about getting that athlete or just anybody back out feeling good, getting back into the gym. So I would say that is one of that combination is best. The red light booths are phenomenal as well. That is more skin related, but also helps with recovery as well. Something like a salt and red light combination, which would be a vitality booth, full immersion in red light therapy. Red light therapy is great for inflammation. It's going to help with skin repairing tissue, wound repair and healing. It's going to help increase the collagen production and the turnover of cells. So there's a lot of overlap between far infrared heat and red light therapy, but they're both their own individual primary modalities. And we pair both of those with salt therapy, which is an enhanced overall experience. So you're addressing recovery, again, more respiratory health and recovery, but also muscle health and recovery.
So these modalities are for anyone from the UPS worker and the waitress to the elite athlete and the Ironman?
So yes, the modalities that I just described are absolutely for the elite athlete all the way to your mom that's just home with her kids and maybe works out once a week or does yoga. It's for everybody. It's not a niche market. When we're talking about respiratory health and or overall immune health, which post COVID has been really top of mind for everybody. I would say everybody falls into that category. They're going to benefit from the those types of modalities like salt therapy or red light therapy or far infrared heat. And if you put them into a combination of stacked modalities, it actually helps. It enhances the benefit. There's a synergistic effect. So they're going to get an enhanced benefit in one footprint, essentially. And that's going to be, your UPS worker, your elite athlete, your CrossFit trainer. It's going to help everybody across the board.
How are fitness businesses incorporating these contactless recovery products into their businesses?
Okay, so what I see in the sort of contactless fitness recovery space that gyms and fit people in the fitness industry are utilizing to monetize and increase revenue in their businesses is bringing in, again, these contactless, touchless services that are going to address contrast therapy recovery without the added need for labor. And most of the equipment is often put into either a private room or into an open floor plan. So I've seen it done both ways. If it's a sauna that incorporates salt or red light, oftentimes because red light's so good for skin, you want to have the guest dress down a little bit. The salt is phenomenal for skin as well. So you're going to have a red light and you're going to have salt that's going to address the skin. They're going to want to use that in more of a private setting. We have pop-up rooms and things like that to put all of the restore and recovery equipment into. People are creating contrast therapy rooms or spaces that are designated with all sorts of cold plunges or local cryo, a sauna, and then they're creating protocols around that so that somebody would go into that space and they would follow certain protocols based on what they need. And again, these are monetized pretty significantly because with stacked modalities, the facility owner can charge an upcharge or surcharge for some of these additional pieces of equipment. How exactly are folks monetizing the equipment and whether there's a need for privacy or a space or an open floor plan? As I said, depending on the facility, sometimes, with a larger gym, they would put some of this equipment in an open floor plan, and then they would charge sort of a membership, and then it would be more value added. So I've seen it done where it's oftentimes membership, value added, and the more equipment that can address recovery, and help any athlete take them from where they are to the next level is probably, depending on the facility, that it would determine whether they would bring in one or two or three pieces of equipment, and whether it would be more in a private space or an open floor plan space. So it really depends on the facility. Then, of course, they would create the business model. Again, oftentimes, most of this stuff that we're talking about, this contactless, touchless recovery type modalities, are addressing more chronic conditions, especially when it comes to respiratory health and immune health. So selling packages is really important. Selling membership is really important, and people are looking for that. So there's people out there now who are seeking out gyms that are offering a lot more than equipment because they want to be able to utilize, they want to feel good too. So there's a shift more toward feeling better. For instance, there's cryo out there. You can go in a full body chamber. It's 3 minutes long. That's not fun. Doesn't feel good. But yet there's also cryo in the form of sort of a cryo lounge, which might be a better fit for some wellness facilities because people, again, they go into a gym or fitness facility, they want to feel good. They want to be pampered. They want to be massaged. So the true elite athlete might look for something that's a full body 200 sub-degree zero chamber so they can get those muscles back in full recovery. But the average gym goer is going to look for something that's going to help with inflammation throughout their body, help them to recover faster, but they also want to feel good. So that's really what I think is trending right now. That type of recovery that is that sweet spot between feeling good and appealing to the average guest or member, but also is going to get them back out into top performance quicker.
Membership packages. What are you seeing as the average price across the board for these membership packages?
That's so the average price for membership packages is a really difficult to define because it's really going to be based on if it's a huge franchise or chain. Obviously, their membership model is keeping the membership, it's quantity and trying to get as many members packed in, more of a Planet Fitness type business model versus somebody who is, maybe only has a few locations. So they might charge $199 a month or $299 a month, but they would offer a lot of really high-end wellness and recovery equipment that's going to hit that sweet spot that we talked about, which is feeling good, looking good, and also helping them to perform better. One of the things that I always want people to understand about halotherapy, because first and foremost, it's been around, as I said, forever. but the upside and the opportunity is still so great, because there's still a whole swath of the population that doesn't quite understand what it is yet, although it's one of the top things that people are seeking out that are in the wellness space. So your market potential and upside is tremendous. And one of the things I tell people is, when you're talking about halotherapy, people want it. When you start talking to people about that chronic uh, cough that comes in January and February, that winter crud that they just can't seem to shake. And then you start talking about, for instance, we're heading into ragweed season. People get that. When you start posting and talking about that, and they get that once they start doing halotherapy regularly, it's going to make a tremendous difference, an all natural way to make a tremendous difference in their respiratory health, both upper and lower, and their skin. So when you're talking about it, people want it. And we give you all of the talking points and the understanding and the marketing and the collateral. We don't make you reinvent that wheel. So it's easy. It's an easy sell, and your guests are looking for it. So my call to action to you would be to click on the schedule a call button on my landing page. You're also going to see a lot of cool videos and such on the page, just to give you a better idea of what you may be interested in. We'll schedule a call, and just as a reminder, BFS members get preferred corporate pricing. But truthfully, people's return on investment is phenomenal. It's usually 4 to 6 months. The equipment price point is it's very low. $6 to $8 to $10,000 for a piece of equipment, depending on what it is. Lots of different size options, lots of different combinations. And now that we've moved into the restore and recovery space, again, you're going to be able to get a package or a bundle to include respiratory health and overall immune health and recovery from one person. And we're going to bundle it and give you guys great prices. And I look forward to speaking with anybody that's interested in learning more.